Hello friends, in this video we will discuss about the news of 15th May from the newspaper The Hindu. And if you are preparing for any government examination, you can contact us on our WhatsApp number, or you can also visit our website isbio.com and exammap.com. So let's start the video. First topic is All India Democratic Women's Association. So why is this in news? The activist Ranjana Nirula, who was a working committee member, died in Delhi on due to COVID-19 at age 75. So she was one of the founders of All India Democratic Women's Association and also a member of Delhi State Committee of CPIM. And apart from being the working editor of general title, the voice of the working woman. So what is All India Democratic Women's Association? It is an independent left-oriented women's organization committed to achieving democracy, equality and women's emancipation. Emancipation means to free from bondage, and it was founded in 1981 as a national level mass organization of women. It is also the women's wing of Communist Party of India, Marxist, and the members are from all strata in the society, regardless of class, caste, and community. About two-thirds of organization's strength is derived from the rural and urban women, and it upholds secular values and challenges and resists cultural practices demeaning to women, and believes that the emancipation of women in India requires fundamental systematic change. Next topic is Red Cross Society. So the news about Red Cross Society is that the Red Cross Society of China has sent 100 oxygen, 40 ventilators, 100 oxygen concentrators and 40 ventilators and some other medical supplies to Indian Red Cross Society as COVID-19 assistance. So World Red Cross Society is observed on May 8 on the birth anniversary of Henry Dunant, who was the founder of the International Committee of Red Cross. Henry Dunant, he was also the recipient of first Nobel Prize, and the main aim of Red Cross Society is basically to inspire, initiate and encourage all kinds of humanitarian activities under all circumstances and times. These programs conducted by Red Cross Society can be broadly categorized into four parts, and including the promotion of humanitarian principles and values, disaster response, disaster preparedness, and health and care. So the four categories of Red Cross Society is promotion of humanitarian principles and values, disaster response, disaster preparedness and health and care. And the Red Cross Society is based on 7 principles, namely humanity, impartiality, neutrality, independence, voluntary, unity and universality. Let's talk about Indian Red Cross Society. So Indian Red Cross Society is voluntary humanitarian organization to protect human life and health with the help of its network of over 1100 branches throughout India. It was established in 1920 and completed its 100 years of existence in 2020, and it is a part of largest independent humanitarian organization in the world and the International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement. The mission of the Indian Red Cross Society is to provide relief at the time of disasters, emergency, and also promotes healthcare facilities among vulnerable people and communities. And the President of India is the President, and Union Health Minister is the chairman of this society. Next topic is COVID, Cove Aid Portal, Cove Aid portal, and this portal is set up for real-time monitoring of relief, and the central government think tank Niti Aayog has set up this Cove Aid portal to keep a track of all COVID-19 aid received by Indian government from several missions or individuals organizations. Means whatever the aid receiving Indian government, it that is tracking by this portal, and the platform keeps an end-to-end check from the initiation to the distribution. It is important to note that all received items are exempted from the custom duties, health cess, and GST obligation, and can be received anywhere in India by the Indian Red Cross Society. Once verified, the donor will be prompted to share the details of donations along with the several documentations such as waybill, commercial invoice, and total value of donated items, packing list, donation and gift certificates or covering letter, and flight or cargo details for the Indian Red Cross Society to facilitate the process of arrival, including custom and all clearances. Next topic is GST Council. So, GST Council is constitutional body under Article 279A. It makes recommendations to the union and state government on the issues related to goods and services tax. And it was introduced by Constitution 101 Act 2016, and the GST Council is chaired by Union Finance Minister and other members after the Union State Minister of Revenue or Finance and ministers in charge of finance or taxation of all states. It is considered as federal body where both center and states get due representation, and every decision of GST means that is Goods and Services Tax Council shall be taken at meeting by a majority of not less than third by fourth of weighted votes of members present and voting and in according with the following principles. And the principles are: vote of central government shall have the weightage of one third of the total votes cast, and the votes of all states governments taken together shall have the weightage of two-third of total votes in the meetings. And the economic and they in the economic survey 2017 and 18 also held that GST Council for its cooperative federalism technology, which brings together the center and states and can be applied in to the many other policy of reforms. Next topic is Iron Dome, and Iron Dome is 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 a rocket which fired from a Gaza being intercepted by Israeli Iron Dome air defense system. So Iron Dome is a rocket which fired from the Gaza and by Israeli Iron Dome air defense system, and it appeared that rockets were hitting an invisible shield. And so the Iron Dome, it was deployed in 2011. According to Rafael Advances Systems, the Iron Dome has so far made more than 2,000 interception, and its success rate is more than the 90%. It is capable of protecting forward operating bases, urban areas, and deployed and maneuvering forces. It shall be used in all weather conditions, and also it can be operated during day and at night. It is a short range ground air to air defense system, and it is used to counter rockets, mortars, aircraft, helicopters, mortars, artillery, and unmanned vehicles. Next topic is Article 311. So recently, the suspended police officer Sachin Vaze was dismissed from the service by Mumbai Police Commissioner under Article 311, subclause 2, subclause B, without a departmental inquiry. So let's first discuss about the Article 311. Article 311 provides two safeguards to civil servants against any arbitrary dismissal from their post. A civil servant cannot be dismissed or removed by any authority subordinate to that by which he was appointed, and a civil servant cannot be dismissed or removed or reduced in rank except after an inquiry in which he has been informed of the charges against him and given a reasonable opportunity of being heard in respect of those charges. Means a civil servant cannot be dismissed or removed by any authority who by which he was appointed. Means that authority is subordinate to civil servant. That authority cannot be dismissed or removed a civil servant and cannot be dismissed or removed or reduced in a rank except there will be an inquiry, or and about that inquiry that civil servant will has been informed to that civil servant for the charges against him. And above two safeguards are available only to the members of civil services of the center and the all India services, the civil services of state, or to persons holding civil posts under the center or state, and it is not available to the members of defense services or persons holding military posts. And the second safeguard of holding inquiry, it is not available in the following three cases. So the second safeguard of holding inquiry is not available in the following three cases. The first case is that where a civil servant dismissed or removed or reduced in any rank on the ground of conduct which has led to his conviction on a criminal charge. So if there will be a criminal charge on that civil servant, then the second safeguard is not available. Then the second is Article 311, subclause 2 and subclause B, where the authority empowered to dismiss or remove a civil servant or to reduce him in a rank is satisfied that for some reason and it is not reasonably practicable to hold such inquiry. Means that inquiry is not necessary and that authority is satisfied by the charges. And the third point is where the president or governor is satisfied that in the interest of security of the state it is not expedient to hold such inquiry. So what is the process of departmental inquiry? In a departmental inquiry, after an inquiry officer is appointed and the civil servant is given a formal charge sheet of the charges, then the civil servant can represent himself or herself or choose to have a lawyer. Then the witness can be called during the departmental inquiry, following which the inquiry officer can prepare a report and submit to the government for further action. and the government employee dismissed under these provisions can approach either tribunals like State Administrative Tribunal or Central Administrative Tribunal or the court. Next topic of Index of Industrial Production. Uh, so why is this in news? The retail inflation and measured consumer price index eased to 4.29% in April, and separately the factory output measured in terms of index of industrial production grew by 22.4% in March. So what is in index of industrial production? Index of industrial production is an index that shows the growth rates in different industry groups of the economy in a fixed period of time, and it is compiled and published by the Central Statistical Office, Ministry of Statistics Program and Implementation. It is a composite indicator that measures the growth rate of industry groups classified under broad sectors, namely mining, manufacturing, and electricity. These three are the sectors, and use-based sectors, namely basic goods, capital goods, and intermediate goods. And the base year for the index of industrial production is 2011 to 2012, and the eight core industries of India represent about 40% of weight of items that are included in the index of industrial production. And these eight core industries are: first one is electricity, then steel, refinery products, then crude oil, then coal, cement, natural gas, and last is fertilizers. And these eight core industries have different weight, and the maximum weightage is of refinery products. After refinery products, we have electricity, then steel, then coal, and etc. So what is consumer price index? It is the measure of changes in the price level of a basket of consumer goods and services brought by the households, and it is a numerical estimation calculated using the rates of a sample of representative objects and the prices of which are gathered periodically. The consumer price index captures the changes in the price level at the consumer level, and the changes in the prices at the producer level are tracked by the wholesale price index. So the difference between these two is the consumer price index captures the changes in the price level, and wholesale price index captures the changes at the producer level. And CPI, that is consumer price index, can capture the change in the prices of services which wholesale price index cannot. So there are various indices of consumer price index. So the first is consumer price index industrial workers, CPI-IW. It tries to measure the alterations over a time period on the prices of fixed basket of goods and services utilized by industrial workers. And second one is for agricultural laborers, and this measures the changes in the prices of commodity basket consumed by agricultural laborers. In the industrial workers, it is capture the changes utilized by industrial workers, and in agricultural level it is measure the changes which is consumed by in agricultural labors, and it is this used to revise minimum wages for agricultural labor in the different states. Third one is for rural laborers, which measures the change in the prices of commodity basket consumed by rural laborers, and the above indices are published monthly by Labor Bureau and under Ministry of Labor Employment for all India as well as states and union territories. And above three indices covered only a segment of population, not overall nation, and that's why CPI designed three more indices, and these are CPI rural, CPI urban, and CPI combined. So in the rural measure the changes in the prices of commodity basket consumed by the rural population, and for urban consumed by urban population, and for combined it is computed by combining CPI rural and CPI urban. And the base year for the above three indices are 2011 and 12, and published monthly by National Statistical Office, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Next topic is compulsory licensing. So compulsory licensing is a license or authorization issued by the government to an applicant for making, using, and selling a patented product or employing a patented process without the consent of patentee. So what is patent? Patents are the rights granted to an inventor that allows them to exclude all others from selling, making, or using their inventions for 20 years. So chapter 16 of the Indian Patents Act 1979, an agreement on trade related aspects of intellectual property rights, discuss about the compulsory license, and the application for compulsory license can be made any time after 3 years from the date of sealing of patent, and the following conditions should be fulfilled by the applicant. First is reasonable requirements of public with respect to the patented invention have not been satisfied, and patented invention is not available to public at a reasonable affordable price, and patented invention is not used in India, and additionally according to section 92 of the act, compulsory licenses can also be issued by suo motu by controller of patents pursuant to a notification issued by the central government if there is either a national emergency or external extreme emergency, or in cases of public non-commercial use. So next topic is Samarjit Jan, and he was a leader of rights movement for sex workers in India and a public health expert known for his contribution to the prevention of HIV in the country, and he passed away due to COVID-19 related complications in Kolkata. So he was an epidemiologist, and he was also a member of National Task Force on COVID-19, and Jan spearheaded the first rights-based HIV intervention programs in India by collectivizing the sex workers of Sonagachi, and he was also a member of NACO's steering committee. Dr. Samarjit Jan, who helped the children of sex workers a chance to fight discrimination through the football, and was the founder of Darbar Mahila Samanvay Samiti. He was also the founder of Darbar Sports Committee, and the Samiti is collective of 65,000 sex workers in West Bengal. Established in 1992 in Sonagachi, the largest red light area in Kolkata, and it has been working for the rights of women and sex workers and causes such as anti-human trafficking and HIV/AIDS prevention. And the organization also used football to fight discrimination against the children of sex workers. So next topic is Anamalai Tiger Reserve, and Anamalai Tiger Reserve is the 29th and one of the four tiger reserve in Tamil Nadu, and it lies south of the Palakkad Gap in the southern Western Ghats. It was originally a territorial division known as Coimbatore South Forest Division, and which was declared as Wildlife Sanctuary in 1976. It forms part of Annamalai Parambikulam Elephant Reserve declared in 2003, and Wildlife Sanctuary was declared as Tiger Reserve in April 2007 and declared as Critical Tiger Habitat in December 2007. There are six tribal communities: Malasar, Malai Malasar, Kadar, Muduar, Pulayar, and Iravalar, with the population of nearly 6,000 living in 35 settlements, and it supports the diverse habitat types like wet evergreen forest, semi-evergreen forest, moist deciduous, dry thorn, and solar forest. So about the community, one of the community of Anamalai Tiger Reserve is Pulaya community. It is also known as Pulayas or Holaya or Chiramar, and they are the tribes spread out in Kodaikanal Hills, and it is one of the main social groups found in Kerala, Karnataka, and in the historical Tamil Nadu or Tamilakam. And the spiritual life of Pulaya includes certain ancient magic rituals and practices that have a certain reputation. So the Pulayas are noted for their music, craftsmanship, and for certain dances which include Kolam Thulai, a mask dance which is a part of their exorcism rituals, and Mudurattam, a hair dance which has its origins in a fertility ritual. And in the 1976 of India Gazette notifies Pulayan as and Cheramar as a scheduled caste, and the government of Tamil Nadu has not officially recognized them as scheduled tribe. So thank you, class.